has been reliable in a bunch of their most recent matchups. It's Forsaken gonna do a little fist bump. RB's a little bit confused, but we'll see how that matchup goes as well.
Yeah, you'd imagine with the number of times that RB's been on an international and big stage on land for Valorant, he's kind of used to players now wanting to do some sort of ceremony on their walk-in, but he's always caught a little bit off guard. Now, of course, you mentioned Mako and Mindfreak as well, kind of the two, nickname IGN controllers, right, across the world that people praise. And then, of course, two coaches that have been on so many different stages against so many different teams. Lots riding on their shoulders as well.
Kita nonton watch PRX dulu guys, PRX sama DRX.
Yeah, and I mean, I imagine a lot of
Let's
this
go.
is just, you gotta be, okay guys, you know what? We know the squad. We know what something's capable of. Foxy, go kill him. Make sure
DRX finally going with the go kill strat.
Make sure you're holding those angles and you get good reaction time.
Yeah, I mean, PRX, we always joke about them, being the, Forsaken go kill, Jin go kill, and now potentially the something go kill squad. But, I mean, even we saw an interview from T1 as well, right after their loss. I mean, their coach Autumn saying, people joke about how this is a chaotic team, but I don't think so. And if you really break down their games, it's not. You can see the logic behind it. It's just such a unique, speedy style that people are caught unaware.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how that style develops now with Jing out of the roster and who's going to be kind of taking the reins on some of that initiation, some of those entries. And let's take a look at some of the maps here as well. I don't think it's a big surprise that PRX are going to ban Lotus.
No, not at all.
Kalios, you were just saying before.
Lotus
they're probably not gonna play that
di-ban.
map for the entirety of this.
It's
PRX ban Heaven.
This is another one that, PRX deciding to take away the Haven has been widely picked, as we were highlighting before.
Map satu,
Just
mapnya
across the
DRX.
entire region, and this is one of the ones that I wanted to see a little bit more of. It's going to be a Ascent
Weh,
here, a
split,
main stand for
anjing.
the side of
Map
DRX,
shotgun.
allowing them to climb so much internationally. That map, and okay,
Okay,
the
so
Pearl now
Pearl
going to be
di ban
banned off, and we
Pearl.
have split per second map, so we're going to have DRX once again forced there.
Yeah, now DRX, of course, against Global, they had a little bit of trouble on split against Talon. Whether it was because of Talon's agent comps or not, they had a bit of an easier time, but we will get to see how they face off against PRX and Fracture being loaded until the very last second, so that will be map 3, should we get there.
Yeah, and I don't think it's any surprise that teams are bringing out the split against DRX. Just mentioning what you were talking about, William, how they have shown a little bit of weakness on that map, and also the fact that it's been out of the pool, of course, for a while until the changes did come in. So if you're going to try to take down one of the favorite teams, one of the big teams in the region, you may want to throw them some curveballs, and I think that split can act as that a lot nowadays.
All right.
Let's take a look at some of these agents.
All right, so the jet battle surely happening. Something and Foxy and I both picking it up, and Benkai going to be playing the Sova. So it looks like Forsaken, they really want to
Benkai,
stick him on that
Sova.
Sentinel, have him be that reliable anchor
Jingnya
and
nggak main,
lurker
anjing.
who can get the clutches when he
Jingnya nggak
needs,
main,
and Benkai
anjing.
going to take on the role of calling for the
Bentar,
team
guys,
with
gua
the
ambil
info
minum.
he can get as
Ambil minum bentar.
Yeah, I mean, this was the big question when we saw that something was going to be starting here, that Benkai was still going to be in the roster, is what does Benkai play? Because Forsaken looks so at home immediately with that KJ. Benkai's been playing a hell of a lot as late, so I'm curious to see how this looks now with Sova in his hands.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready for map number 1. Let's throw it over to the stage to get into Ascent with Tasteless and Paper Thin.
Excellent work at the desk, boys. We are going into DRX versus PRX. I think this is going to be the most exciting and epic match we've had so far in the tournament.
Oh, you're absolutely correct. This one should be a ton of fun. The matchup that everybody's wanted throughout this region. A lot of people pegging these as the 2 best teams in our region coming into this entire season. Really excited for this. I mean, you've got the fast, explosive style of PRX versus the kind of methodical, disciplined style of DRX.
DRX, in our predictions, most of us picked them to be the team that would probably take this. But I got to point out, if PRX takes it, maybe it's a bit of an upset, but we shouldn't be that surprised. I think these teams are very evenly matched, very different play styles coming into this. I couldn't be more excited to do this. Let's get into this best of 3.
I am so excited, dude. And another thing to point out for PRX here, they've never beaten DRX. So this is like a match for them that's so important to get this win here, to set the tone, to basically guarantee themselves a spot in the playoffs. There's a ton on the line.
Absolutely. DRX
Absolutely.
said before they don't just want to go undefeated, they want to crush every opponent that they go up against. And certainly PRX should be their toughest match coming up here to do that. PRX, of course,
Anjing
known
nggak tuh,
for their
Forsaken
very
udah
aggressive
nggak kagak
style,
ini
they
lagi
haven't
jadi
backed off
apa?
from. In fact, they've leaned into it.
Duelis.
Where DRX, as
Jadi
you were saying
controller?
earlier, Paper Thin, a little bit more methodical. This should be a fun one. To start this off, we do have DRX pushing over here into A. It's going to have to be a retake from PRX if they're going to be able to recover.
Yeah, a clean execute here, just taking out the solo defender of Devi. Little bit of damage done via utility. And now the plant does come down. Smokes are going to delay things a bit here for PaperX. Door broken down. Site here pretty well defended by DRX. They're able to cover this nicely. Paranoia is going to come into there. They're flooding the site.
Beautiful blind coming in there. We immediately see
Aduh.
Bankai take Foxy out. It's a bit of a trade so
Tak nih,
far.
bos,
Now
tak,
1
bos.
versus 3.
The crossfires here are so good, but Benkai in the drop down gets
Tak
one
nih,
before
bos.
he's not expecting stacks on the blind side.
Jago banget itu
double,
orang.
Stack over there in hell. Thought he had cleared it out. Was going to try to turn around the box, but with Zen blindsided by that shot to the head, and so. As always, game 1 ripples in through the entire first half. DRX in the lead, and this should give them an easier round 2.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It looked like PaperX's retake was a little bit disjointed there. They sent the Paranoia, something dashed in. I thought they were really going to kick it off, but everybody else got stalled up in
Ako.
heaven. Not sure exactly what happened there. But still a very nice attempt from PaperX despite losing Devi early. But DRX, again, you know, they set up these crossfires. They're so disciplined. You know, we see it time and time again that they're really difficult to beat. A 2-stack here for Foxy.
And Foxy in a very forward position, and Foxy
What the
obliterates.
fuck?
Beautifully done. Is he going to get the
Gila
ace?
dia
The only
hebat
player
anjing
left
si
is
Foxy dari
Something.
kemarin.
Obviously, if there's one player you'd want to be afraid of in a 1 versus 5, it would be Something, but I think the writing is on the wall. This looks like it's going to be an easy round 2 here for DRX.
Yeah, you're precisely right. And with the Sheriff in his hands, he can certainly still do some damage. Now, we do have Buzz for DRX, spotting him out from the side, going to get the cleanup and the flawless for DRX. But, yeah, I mean, I don't mind what PaperX does here, right? They're just like, look, we're going to stack A main. Hopefully we can find a kill. We're going to flash and peek out, and hopefully it works.
And I think when you're PRX in this position, obviously you're at a disadvantage. I don't blame them at all for trying to do a bum rush out into A long.
Anjing.
Maybe you can get some kills. At least you can get some trades. However, it's not just about that round 2 win. It's the fact that
Ketawain lu,
really it was,
bro.
as you know,
Anjing.
title said, flawless play. Not a gun was dropped there by DRX as momentum builds. That oh so important round 3 here. The one where PRX might be able to recover with better weaponry. Let's watch and see how they handle it.
And Odin already for Forsaken on the B site, so keep your eyes on some of that wall spam and other things. With Benkai now on the Sova, maybe setting him up for some of that. Bladestorm going to be popped here for Foxy. The only ult available so far is he got 4 kills in that previous round to really set himself up nicely. And yeah, I mean, again, DRX is going to take their time. They still have a couple Bulldogs we've seen in the past that they can really do a lot of damage with those guns. Plus with Foxy with the Bladestorm, you never know, they might get the bonus.
Foxy on the move. He comes up and whiffs all shots, but it doesn't matter. He recovers immediately now going into hell as it looks like DRX is starting to clean up.
That was fast and efficient there. Foxy kind of able to
Gila,
sneak in
jago
the
banget Foxy,
backline through
sumpah,
the
demi
window,
apapun.
catching PRX really off guard.
Gila, anjing.
And then the other members of DRX right there to clean things up. This is already looking a little bit shaky and worrisome for
Gila, ini round
PaperX.
3 loh.
Still something, of course,
Still lose,
and
anjing.
Benkai alive, but I think
Padahal
they're just going to
senjata
have to save at this point. There's not much left that they can do.
GGN
Yeah,
PRX.
and again, we have not had any DRX player drop off. They're going to be going into round 4 with some deep pockets unless we have a real plot twist coming into this here.
No doubt. I mean, this is kind of the DRX you expect in a way where it's methodical, it's smart, and a big change that we've seen from DRX Tasteless is Foxy 9. Ooh, Benkai at least going to take out Foxy. That's okay, though. You know, like, you have guns to spare here as DRX because you came into this round on the light buy, so you can go hunting a little bit. But what I want to say is DRX, like, now with Foxy 9, they let him off the leash. He can go out and kill, and it's totally fine. They're totally comfortable with that.
It's so cool to see how well Foxy 9 is playing. When you think of all the different players that DRX could pick from, we didn't see that much of Foxy 9 earlier on, so there were a lot of question marks around this player, but we're seeing exactly why they've selected him. And really impressive back there when he procced the Bladestorm, came in and he missed every shot. I actually thought we were going to see PaperX win that round, but with perfect gunplay, he just won regardless.
He's so fast to recover from a mistake like that. That's
Kalau
just
kata
the sign of a great player.
Kalau
In
Kayo
the
bilang,
making, it seems. You can see why DRX really
Keras.
favored him. An early push out, and it's just completely demolished by
Keras.
DRX.
Yeah, and PaperX, you know, they're
Ngeras
sticking
tapi
to that
gagal,
brand. They're
terus
aggressive, they're in
mundur.
your face,
Ya
but that
elah,
could be a
Korea
double-edged
nih,
sword,
bos.
and we're already seeing that happen here.
Gua anaknya DRX banget.
You know, completely lost control of A. That being said, they didn't push into A.
DRX.
They decided to seesaw back over here. It looks like they're going to try to take some picks. and maybe let PRX overextend. That overextension, however, has not happened since that attack over on A.
Yeah, I mean, I think, in DRX's mind, based on what you saw in the previous eco round where they all four-stacked that A main gate, you don't want to over-aggress into that and drop some guns unnecessarily. So I think a smart rotation here. And PRX, though, somewhat ready for it, particularly with Forsaken's Killjoy utility here. He's got to pop the nanos to buy a little bit of time. Foxy able to dash up and over. And maybe finding Forsaken behind the box. Nope, Forsaken's going to get him.
He gets the drop. He goes back into the boathouse. He has been spotted there by that Sova arrow. A pop flash comes out. Forsaken at 1 HP. He gets the drop on RB, but Buzz finishes him off.
PRX dapat 2 loh.
3v2 now. There's still hope here for PRX. 2 Phantoms in hand. And a Bulldog for Buzz. So if they can get Buzz down, it's basically even Steven here.
Well, they got Mako with the lurk here. This should cue Mako to come in. He's actually going to come in here through the center, in fact. Doesn't even matter. Never mind. Who cares? Woo! Stacks is like, what if I just go out and kill him instead?
That was nuts.
Anjing.
Stacks was just like, oh, I know you're out there somewhere. Oop, flick, you're dead. I mean, that was a crazy good flick. Stacks is, widely known for those clutches. That wasn't a clutch.
Gila, patron kalah, anjing.
Man, oh man.
But see, you don't expect them to push out.
No,
it's
not at all.
It's got a counterintuitive moment there. And this is what I think makes DRX so good, is they're able to oscillate from very conservative round play to then just pulling the trigger and coming out and going from. It's funny, too, because we had Mako with the lurk. I thought that was going to be the play, and instead he rotated up in through mid. And before we could even say anything about that, Stacks comes out with the kill. Now, we have a timeout called here for PRX, and I don't think anybody should be surprised by that.
No doubt. It is the right time for one. You got to stop this bleeding, like, now. Things are going very sideways, very fast for you. DRX has a phenomenal read on you on a map that's traditionally a little bit more defender-sided. They've already put up 4 rounds in a row. You got to hemorrhage this. You got to put a stop to this. Tie a tourniquet on this. Find some way to slow DRX down with what I assume is going to be some kind of strategy, maybe a little bit more disciplined here. It seems like PRX is getting aggressive towards A main in particular, and it hasn't been working out. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see them kind of dial it back a little bit here potentially.
Yeah, let's find out. We don't.
I could be wrong with what I'm seeing on the map.
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not.
It is PRX, so I mean, they are the W Key Gaming.
A lot of times they have pushed out into A. It has backfired every time so far. Foxy9 once again going to come. Don't tell me something's going to try this. Okay, good escape from something. Foxy9 not deterred. And I think
Udah jangan nge-pick lagi apa?
for another shot. This is wild.
Tolol anjing ngentot.
Foxy9 shot to the face. Comes
Goblok
in.
anjing.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I can't believe that actually went the way it did. Beautiful defense right now for PRX.
I was shocked too, man. I thought they had him. I mean, they had the spot from the Sova utility, so I thought Devi was dead to rights, but somehow through the smoke finds that kill. Nice piece of work for him. So a 1-for-1 for PRX, and it's going to back DRX off a little bit, starting to check for lurks, and wisely so. So we can see that Forsaken has been snuck underneath the stairs, and they're trying to buy a little bit of time and space with that Sova utility to get him forward towards top mid.
Yeah, Forsaken coming here with a really good lurk. He's right behind. They do have Buzz checking in the back. He may, while he's using his utility, this would be a really good moment. Oh boy. Oh my god, Buzz's reaction so good. Gets the kill. And now they've opened up A. They're going to come in here with the plant. This is going to be an extremely difficult retake.
30 seconds left.
I mean, Mindfreak's going to have to hit a crazy good shot. Gets a little bit of damage. Okay. Really good shooting here from Mindfreak. Buzz was ready for him. He's able to barely outduel his opponent. Now a 3v2, so still possible with a Guardian and a Phantom, but Mindfreak very low on health.
Yeah, Mako now lurking just towards Wine. Going to try to ease up into A. The door has not been blown open just yet. Well, now it is. RB is ready. We have a very low HP Mindfreak just around the corner, and he connects that shot into the belly. And now it's just a 1-versus-1. This could be the moment that PRX could turn this around.
Yeah, good recognition here by RB. With that recon dart, he knew that he heard the drop down. He just killed his teammate. All right, we know he's behind the box. He's just going to wall spam it. Really nicely handled there by DRX.
It's so important to have the right instincts in these 1-versus-1 moments, because that's really where it does come down to trying to outmaneuver them, outsmart them. But a perfect wall bang to close that out. I got to give some praise here for PRX. I know they haven't won a round yet, but really good defense initially there by Devi. When the Jet came in, it looked like there was no way he should have won that, but he actually managed to pull that shot off with the Sheriff.
Yeah, that might be like the least aggressive PRX can be. Like where something's like the only one going out and everybody else is waiting, but then they still come for the flanks, right? We saw with Forsaken and Mindfreak on those angles. So finally, they're able to put an operator into something's hands. We saw what he could do with it on that Pearl last week that you and Will were casting. So let's see if he can heat up with it and get some rounds finally for PRX.
All right, we've got the drone coming in here to check, and they do actually spot the Killjoy. Now, DRX was at A, they've come into B. It does look like they're going to commit to B unless this is a massive fake, and it's not. We got the Jet coming in immediately into Boathouse. Bunkai is taken out.
Oh, there was a couple kills on the backside there. Forsaken with the Odin, able to lock things down here from Alley. They're going for the res. They get it. Forsaken spams it right back down. Good timing there, watching his kill feed.
All right, it looks like this is going to be the round here for PRX. They finally got that first win.
Let's go.
It's going to be a long road ahead. They really had to buy into this. We saw Odin's use there, a lot of utility. But sometimes this is how Valorant comebacks can happen, is, you know, when you're both kind of broke in the first couple rounds, you don't have a lot of tools to work with. It can start to get one-sided, but maybe we're going to start to see PRX now that they have some actual funds, and then therefore can have some more tactics and strategy at play here. Maybe they can start to recover.
Yeah, I think absolutely this should be a turning point for them if they're going to win this map. Now they've got some big ults in their hands too. They've got the lockdown for Forsaken. They've got the Hunter's Fury for Benkai. So they've got some real potential here, especially with Buzz's lockdown almost being online. You've got a good counter for that available. If DRX does try to sneak that through by, you know, grabbing an orb or something like that early, but right now Buzz doesn't seem to be keen to press for that B orb. He's just over on the left. Something they're not able to find the shot on Mako, just barely missing.
They're going to come now into mid. Now B is very light on the defense. It's actually just Bankai hanging back over here, but it seems like they might want to try to spring a move over into tree. We've got the Omen cloud set up over here, and they're going to rush in.
Oh, Forsaken just holding it down.
Oh my god, he's just firing in between the silhouettes. Forsaken drops another, and Buzz fights back.
Oh, something is waiting around the corner, though. Buzz had to check up and over. Couldn't find anybody. Devi stepping through. So this is a great back and forth here for PRX.
Yeah, Mako gets one, but can't find another. PRX puts their second win on the board. I was wondering before this match started, what's going to happen when something gets on the operator? Because not only does he seem to never miss, but he's also able to push as well.
Right, he's crazy aggressive with it, right? We saw that in their previous match against T1, where he was just leading the charge on their attacker side with operators sometimes. So absolutely a phenomenal talent. He missed the opening shot, but after that, again, it's the way that PRX there is like taking turns, like one after another. It's like one steps out, gets a kill, the other one steps back in, kind of follow up from an off angle. So just really well coordinated here for PRX. All of their ults available, almost the same thing for DRX other than Stax's ult, which had been popped a couple rounds ago. So this should be a really interesting fight. Both teams might end up committing a lot of resources to this round.
Here's something once again, right up around the corner. Going to try to get a pick, takes the turret out and retreats. It's going to be a slow round from here on out. We didn't see DRX really commit to anywhere. And PRX has actually pumped the brakes a little bit, not poking out, taking their time, and both sides basically making each other burn through a little bit of utility to try to find an opening.
Yeah, I like what you're saying, because it's what I wanted to see from PRX here, because they were a little too aggressive in those early rounds. Now that they've dialed it back, they're letting DRX come to them, and they're just mowing them down. I mean, the shorty here for something, Forsaken still with his Odin, even while flashed, he's still got the angle on Buzz. But here comes DRX.
All right, trying to connect that Hunter's Fury. Some shots fired. Mako takes him out, and it's just Bankai remaining. The spike about to be planted as we see him scrambling up here in heaven, looking for a shot. Omen Cloud comes down. Oh, good shot there by Mako. Shut that out.
That's a cute little dart there.
I like that. Yeah, bouncing it right off the ground. Oh, yeah. Tricky jump down.
That's right.
But, you know, that's a kind of impossible situation, right? You know that someone might be down there underneath, but there's so many positions you can take, and you also know it's very likely somebody's hanging outside in the hall leading into A. Great round there for DRX. They are continuing to push forward. We're already halfway through the first half here, and DRX, again, win after win after win. PRX is able to take some games, but the ones they're winning seem to be the most costly ones as far as using their funds.
Yeah, no, precisely. You can already see, like, money's kind of funky. So the good news is they still have the Blade Storm for something with that Frenzy in the back pocket, but he's going to push space right away. That dash, certainly DRX heard it.
Okay, this is a
What a
very
flash.
funny moment.
You're fucking
Came
funny,
in there with the
motherfucker.
jet dash, but then his
Gak
flash,
jelas
Stack
ngentot,
shoots him
ngentot.
out, Buzz takes out another, as the numbers are already thinning out here for PRX. It's going to be a stroll into B with a sight plant. PRX trying to control through mid, seeing if they can get any picks, but for the most part, mid's been empty. There's going to be an opportunity now, and he just doesn't get those shots to connect.
Yeah, Devi trades one out before he's taken down, but it's just too obvious.
Kagak
Like, that
jelas
jet
banget,
dash
anjing,
is so
samping,
loud.
ngentot.
You know, something there is no support. He's just trying to make a hero play. And certainly, we know he's got the mechanical skill to potentially pull something off like that. But against DRX, too tough. They're too smart. I mean, you know, Stax is just waiting for it. He's just like, oh, you're going to come at me? I know you have the Blade Storm because we can hear the ult sound. And here's a flash. Good luck. It's not anything super complicated from DRX. It's just a good reaction.
Yeah. You know, some of these are just coming down to better gunplay. It's a little bit less about even having bad positioning. Like, the idea was there. That should have been a good interception from mid, maybe creating an opportunity, but not enough.
Anjir.
Once again, a little bit of a push out here into B. DRX not committing just yet. Nobody really in mid here for PRX, so there's a lot of ambiguity. They've taken a pretty retracted position. DRX pushes forward cautiously, but there's not that much they're going to have to intercept here. Devi is going to be the first line of defense. I don't believe, well, he saw the bullet shot through there, so he should know that there's somebody on the other side. The question
Kita
is
tahu
how
nggak ada
many
informasi
and
di
who.
mid, di mid, di mid, di mid.
Yeah, you can see DRX being really methodical about all of this, still trying to make sure that, you know, if there's any utility sent their way, that they have a response for it. You can see RB checking tree to make sure that their flanks are clear, as it looks like this is going to be a B crunch here for the side of DRX. With that smoke coming down, the door broken down, certainly they are going for it.
Yeah, we see Foxy9 sliding in. We've got two in back at Boathouse right now. Foxy just waiting patiently. Does get the first kill, and the second! Unreal.
He's crazy, man. I mean, of course, it is a weaker buy here.
Gila,
for the
jetnya
side
dia
of
lebih
DRX.
OP anjing
still
DRX
clean.
dibanding
Still
PRX
clean.
anjing sampah.
Stack's taking a bit of damage, though.
There's no way they can retake this. I mean, something's got to judge. All you got to do is stay far away from any corner.
He doesn't have a dash either, so
Right,
to make
yeah.
things worse, you know.
He's going to come in. Maybe there is an opening.
Yeah.
Got Buzz here, ready to go. Just something remaining. Obviously, this is probably going to be a loss, but if you can even just get a kill or two. Uh-oh, from behind. Buzz gets that kill. Quiet ending to round 10 there. It's now 8-2, and things are really starting to look dire here.
Yes.
Only 2 more rounds left here in the first half. Obviously, that last round, we kind of expect PRX to lose. It was a budget round. They were on sheriffs and judges, but let's see how they do as we go into round 11, because they need, you know, if they can even just get this 4-8, maybe they can try to recover in the second half.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you got to feel like PRX is more comfortable on the attacker side pretty much most of the time. So, certainly, if they can stabilize these last 2 rounds, I mean, the problem now is that DRX has been sitting on ults because they haven't needed to use them. They've been winning fights early on the entries. They've been, you know, busting down doors without much resistance. So this time they are going to commit the lockdown early. There is no more Hunter's Fury for BenKai. There is no utility to speak of here. Sight is going to be free for DRX for now. PRX starting to line up for the retake.
Yeah, it's all going to be about this retake now. We see Stax has planted, and so the question is going to be, how can they actually deal this? They've got the counter lockdown now.
Headshot there. Stax under a lot of pressure.
They're doing it. PRX is starting to get this retake.
They've got this.
Yeah, there's just nothing that they can do.
Ooh,
And a nice
nice.
closer there from Devi takes.
Kayaknya sih nice.
Didn't drop a gun. See BenKai
I
here
gotta
with like
know
5
when the
HP
world will
or
see
something,
me.
left over. But a flawless
And I
victory
know
and a big
when I
moment here.
know
And a
when.
much needed, at least start to a turnaround here from PRX.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think it's just them this time being more patient and like being more disciplined with checking their angles and things like that. Like you can see right away, they're jumping into the site. They got 3 people looking at Hell after the backside of generators clear. So this is just like better disciplined play here for PRX. It's not as wild, it's not off kilter as sometimes we're used to seeing for them. And of course, the crowd in Singapore loves it.
Yeah, so hyped. So cool to see that crowd out there. Shout outs to you guys. It's okay.
Satu round lagi yuk.
PRX gets that first win. Well, third win, I should say, but it had been a little bit. We're almost into the second half. Let's see if they can have a strong closer. They are well equipped with util and weaponry. Right now, DRX isn't really committed anywhere. It seems like they are going to step away from A. They're going to send the drone out into mid and see if they can get any information. Mid is pretty much naked. This has been a theme here for PRX. They seem to take very retracted positions in mid. They don't want to peer all the way down into the center. They want to kind of hang out at an angle. And maybe let a DRX, which is one of the more cautious teams, maybe burn through the clock a little bit more before they have it engage.
I think you're right, and I think it's worked pretty well on some of these rounds here when DRX has tried to go for B. That has been a little bit tougher for them to get through. A flash spot here onto Foxy9 with the Blade Storm pop. He's gonna go up and over right on top of Benkai, but he whiffs completely.
Nice.
Yeah, a bold move, but it backfires. And we're starting to see that B is getting harder and harder to clear, but Mako and RB fight back something, and Bankai now out of the picture.
Masih bisa. Tapi nggak bisa deh.
Plant the spike. Mako gets one. Can he get two?
Bisa.
So close.
Go on one, eh?
RB, clutch
Let's
one,
go.
through, gets the first. Can he find the second? He's got it!
Unreal! A brilliant closer there by
banget
DRX.
anjing.
As we now
Malah absen satu-satu. Kenapa nggak dua-duanya langsung maju anjing?
DRX is going to have an incredible second half, or we might be at map 2 before you know it.
Yeah, absolutely. This was definitely wanting at times here, especially off the rip for PRX. Just really aggressive. It doesn't fool DRX at all. These are two teams that know each other very well in and out. They understand a lot of the mentality that comes through, and PRX has talked about it publicly that they struggle against DRX. They don't like playing them because it seems to be one of the few teams that consistently has their number.
Yeah, it was honestly a really cool first half here from DRX. I like that we're highlighting something here. I think something did have some pretty remarkable plays here, but the problem is as good as he is on the operator, and he had some other incredible moments, even on the Odin back there. This is not a team you're going to beat with just good moments on the operator. DRX is too tight, especially in those first couple of rounds when there's really not a lot to work with other than other inferior weaponry. So we got to see something better here from PRX.
Yeah, DRX is just too disciplined. I think that's the key word here for them. Is their protocols are so good. The way they react to stuff is so good that it's hard to throw them off balance. We saw something try it a couple of times, particularly with that Blade Storm push. Didn't work. So, yeah, I mean, I think, DRX is no slouch against good operator players. I mean, they beat, Ye with Cloud when he was on Cloud9 at Lock-In. So I think, DRX here is just showing why everybody fears them, right?
Yeah, like we said before the match started, DRX doesn't just want to win, they want to crush. And so they're doing that so far. Now, look, it always feels like when you see like a 9-3 or a 10-2, it feels like it's over, but it almost oftentimes is not the case. We have seen teams turn this around. It's going to come down to the first 3 or 4 rounds here to see, okay, can PRX start to get the momentum? Can they start that snowballing effect where maybe DRX can only win the rounds that were the most expensive to earn?
Absolutely. And this is a very, very important pistol round here for PRX. Certainly they want to find this round or it becomes way more difficult. You almost have to force buy in that next round on this attacker's side. So they're leaning 4-1. Looks like they're going to leave Forsaken on his own towards B main, maybe try to push a little bit of space into mid as they kind of shift around. Looking for potentially a crunch here, and it's just Buzz on A right now with his utility as the Killjoy. So there's opportunity here for PRX if they can eliminate Buzz pretty effectively, but you can see Buzz is playing this very, very safe. He does not want to give his life up for free.
We've got something coming in here. I've always felt that PRX is going to be more suited on the attacker side on a sense, since they already are a very aggressive team. But this was an A-side plant that they didn't really have to fight for. They basically were given it. DRX backed up and is now going to try to push back in. Looks like like the flash is ready if the door pops open.
Yeah, it
Something
looks
can
like
whip around.
yeah, an instant reaction here if the door goes down. It looks like smoke is going to come through. Utility now dumping for DRX, and PRX has handled it really well.
Yeah, so far so good. They're not out of the woods yet, though. And another great shot. I mean, they are just getting them so well over here up in heaven. Beautiful play. And so the only one that's left now is RB in a 1 versus 5. It's an unimaginable comeback. And so he's just going to have to die out. This is going to be the first win and the start of what will be, if they're going to pull through this, many more for PRX. But round 1 is always the most important round in either half of a Valorant match. Like we said before, it ripples through the entire rest of the game. So this should be maybe an easy 5th round win after this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is, you know, obviously it's flawless, so it's really good. But, you know, they're able to get through there for free, and Buzz has to play defensively as the solo player. So, you know, definitely DRX gambling a little bit there that they thought maybe that B site would be where the pistol went. But, you know, PRX there, slow in terms of their kind of initial movement. It's not like that was a off the rip, just, you know, hit and go. They took their time with
Akankah
it. It is a couple of rifles being
93 Israel kutukan. Curse, curse.
Put this to good use.
All right, we've got something coming in now. And they're going to actually just back up. I think they're feeling uncomfortable, and that's some good instinct right there because that was a heavy stack on B. You know, if you're in a round that's really a strain, there are these kind of odds games you can play, like what if we all stack on A or B, or 4 of us do, and a moment like that could have been really good for DRX had PRX not overextended. So PRX, we define them often as an aggressive team, but they do have a lot of foresight in moments like that where they say, well, no, we're not just going to go in blindly.
Yeah, we saw this against T1 where there's some push and pull on the map, and they're doing it here, but the thing is DRX has read this pretty decently, so basically it's right back to what it was before. Foxy with a great shot around the corner.
Something nih ngentot ngasih vandal anjing goblok.
And now the remainder of DRX is stuck towards spawn.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to imagine how you get a retake over here, as it's probably going to be that 5th round win. And so far, so good here for PRX. Beautiful shot there from Forsaken with the wall bang. The only one remaining here is Mako. He's barely alive in this game. He's got 6 HP. Not much else he can get done.
Mako stole the rifle, and he's just peacing out. He's
gonna
just like,
hide. He's going to turtle over here and wait it out and whine. It does look like PRX is on the hunt a little bit. They're going to see if they can't find him. And, you know, who knows? Maybe it's possible that Mind Freak actually makes his way over to Wine. It's not the, you know, it's a pretty common hiding spot to try to wait it out in a situation like this.
Yeah, no doubt. And if you're curious why, you know, Mako's looking straight up, he's looking for a piece of utility to land there, and it is going to be Mind Freak spraying and getting him huge there, that they're able to take that gun away.
Dapat nggak senjatanya?
Yeah. Not giving DRX an inch. And so now we go into the 3rd round in the 2nd half. One where DRX is going to have some decent guns, some decent buys. And remember, they only need 4 more wins to close this out. So even if it is a rough 2nd half here, they just need to sweep past the finish line and get that 13th round win.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you just need to win a couple of those buy rounds. If you find a Thrifty, then you start, oh my god.
Whoa,
RB just wall spammed something back to the waiting screen.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Name a more iconic duo. Sova, that wall, and an Odin.
That stupid animal.
Yeah. You had to draw the tail
Something
on him.
sampah banget, sumpah
Exactly.
nggak ngerti lagi gue anjing.
So, you know, great start.
Sumpah tai banget, sampah
How
banget
far can
mainnya
they go,
anjing.
though? Can they actually take the round back? Dropping one player immediately is pretty convenient, and it makes B a pretty undesirable site to push into, at least from that angle. But we've got a heavy stack over on to mid. Excuse me, they're not going to go into mid. They're going to actually creep up in towards tree. Had they gone to mid, Foxy9 would be waiting, but instead it's going to be Stacks here with a really nice one-way setup. And he does get to confirm that they're present there.
Yeah, and so now he's going to try to find the right timing here on either the entry or just to delay a little bit. Nobody has pushed yet. You've got Foxy9 coming in. Oh my god, Forsaken. What a shot.
Yeah, great way to flush him out of that position. And Forsaken gets that kill. They're going to probe over here into A. They do identify the position of one of them. Mako fights back as Forsaken's taken out. And Divide.
30 seconds left.
What a shot from Mako. I mean, Foxy and Mako are making a meal here of PRX. It's just Benkai left, and it's Foxy who's good for it. What a shot there from Mako. That
was
reaction.
wild.
Woo.
That was wild.
Gila, Mako ngeri banget
Beautiful defense
anjing.
there from DRX, reasserting themselves. And again, you know, it's going to have to be a nearly flawless second half here for PRX. So we're going to be in map 3. Beautiful wallbang to start things out, to thin out the numbers there at PRX. But Mako and Foxy went into absolute beast mode back there, defending A.
Iya,
Yeah,
Foxy
even
lagi
though
jago
Foxy
banget
gets
anjing.
spotted,
Sakit
Mako is
kepalanya.
able to use
Kalau
that information
dia main.
against PRX. They kind of tunnel onto Foxy a little bit. That opens up Mako for a bit of a flank angle. He's able to come in and do some serious damage. Of course, we all know, you know, Mako on controllers, on Ascent. He is, time and time again, had stellar performances. Guy is just Mr. Reliable. Always seems to be good for it.
Dr. Reliable.
The doctor.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking here, it's the battle of the RXs, right? It's
Yeah.
like the prescription battle.
Beautiful play. Stacks takes Mind Freak out. Another flash just around the corner. Stacks pokes in. Did that actually connect? Oh, and something's ready. He takes Stacks out. Down here in hell, Mako is waiting. He gets one, but is blindsided there by the side. Buzz really doing it though. Something versus Buzz. RB at full health. Buzz very low on HP.
Now Buzz, he's calling in, you know, for RB's reinforcements, so they're going to lead with the drone, try to get the spot.
He's done a really good job maneuvering around the drone. There is a blind spot here. Another one comes in. He actually, oh, it actually doesn't connect.
Yeah, because of the stairs.
Yeah, it goes right over the little the ramp that connects the stairs. That was a confusing moment for a second.
30 seconds
So
left.
again, he's still inside the blind spot. RB backs away. Remember, the time is not on something's side here. He needs to plant. That is audible. The Killjoy should have heard that. So they're going to come back around. This time RB going the long way around. So many angles to cover. But something is so clutch in moments like this.
Yeah, this is a big moment for him. He's got the first. Can he finish Buzz off?
Ya,
Oh no, the gun wasn't out!
Oh, in
no.
the middle of the weapon
sumpah
switch.
tolol banget anjing.
And the
Oh,
Diz 2. Shots fired on the body. Easy defuse. And a smooth exit here for DRX, getting that 11th
Anjing,
win
ditembakin lagi.
and putting it on the board, even backing away for a second.
Anjing
that
ditembakin
may be
lagi.
the nail in the coffin for sure.
Ngentot batu bas.
I thought something was
Keren
going to do
anjing,
it.
Bas.
I mean, after, you know, RB's the real big piece of that 'cause he's got so much health. He's coming from an unexpected angle.
Yeah.
But something's able to kind of have that internal clock rolling where he's like, nah, he could have left tree. I need to
Yeah.
check main. And he finds the perfect time for it. You can see right there, that's clean.
It was a smart move too. He tries to dive up towards tree because he thinks that that Killjoy still up in heaven is going to come down around towards generator. And he can play from an outside position, but he didn't even have his gun in hand.
Right, exactly.
When they bumped into each other.
Yeah, it was just, you know, he guessed the first part of that, you know, the first part of it, he got 50% right. Second half, not
Tok
quite there.
anjir.
Now it's a weak buy here for PRX, a Stinger, some Sheriffs, something able to get the Blade Storm off the back of that Alt Orb. So some big tools here for PRX. Certainly
Yeah.
they can turn this round around. I mean, we've seen that something's quite good with the Blades.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to have to be on the back of something, right? Maybe they can farm out some better weapons if they get a kill or two. But if something, you know, if his crosshairs don't connect to some heads, this is going to be the 12th round win here. And as good as PRX is and as strong as they've looked, I don't imagine a world where they're going to then catch up 12-12 and bring us into OT.
Yeah, it would be a monumental task. One of the best comebacks we've ever seen in VCT history if they do it. I'd love to see it, but it is against especially DRX really tough. But yeah, the flash is there and something just shot right out, and RB's just holding it down. With the Oda, they ran right across it.
Enemy remaining.
Oh my God! Mind Freak took a headshot for that, but he's got a couple. He's got the
Yeah.
Odin now.
And ready for the longest reload time ever. He does manage to fill it up. He's been pinged inside a boathouse, and the spike
30
is
seconds
actually out. It's not in his hand, so he can't plant. So they're basically just going to run the clock and force him to come out. He's got 30 HP. The crossfire that's set up over here makes this just so hard to have a moment you can ever come out. It's so difficult. All they have to do is stay back and wait. 10 seconds on the clock. I don't even know if that's enough
10
time to run
seconds
out and kill both of them.
Yeah, he wants to try to maybe ult for it, but he can't
Yeah.
do it because it's so well covered, right? Like you just,
Yeah.
and now they're just going to start pressing into him with time, you know, ticking down past the point where you can get the plant down anyway. They want to make sure that this Odin isn't carried over,
Yeah,
and they're going to be
do
good
it.
for it.
Beautifully done there by Foxy9. That's the 12th win, and I do believe, Paper Thin, we are in the twilight
Need a
of our
drop.
first map here.
Yeah. Get your vampires ready, kids. 'Cause we're getting into the twilight.
That's right. It's yeah, such a good closer there by Foxy9. Foxy9 really outshining his teammates, and you know with DRX it's like they're the Avengers or something, or the X-Men. You know, like everybody's so good, but really Foxy9 is looking so strong. So PRX calls for a timeout. Is anybody surprised?
No.
No.
They have to. I mean, it's do or die now, and they've got to find something. So
Nobar kah?
should have enough for a
Yoi.
buy,
Nobar
certainly, but
ceritanya.
beyond that, you know,
Ceritanya
Vincent,
nobar,
tough. I mean,
Jenek.
you know, something as
Apa kabar,
spectacular as
Jenek?
it was in his debut.
What's up, ke?
Lackluster so far against Foxy9, and that was kind of the big thing that the desk was setting up for today, was these two star duelists who have kind of had some banter back and forth. Nothing serious. It's just, you know, they respect each other a ton.
They're having fun.
Yeah, they're having fun. They both want to show that they're the best duelist in the region.
Aku anjing.
But so far, is certainly Foxy9 is coming out ahead in that equation.
Yeah, and look.
Alhamdulillah baik, bagus.
I think that, you know,
Bagus kalau
we
baik.
saw PRX look just incredible a week
Kangen banget
ago,
bacotnya Om
but they're
Dion
against a
ya.
different opponent.
Mana
And
ada.
the thing is, DRX
Aku udah nggak
is
toxic
so good
sekarang.
at shutting them down before they can really do what they
Sekarang
wanted.
lebih ke
I'm worried for him. I would love to go
Olympic,
to overtime. I just don't think it can
menikmati
happen.
hari-hari
His first
indahnya
map on his
berpuasa.
Yeah. No,
Padahal
I
saya
think
nggak
that's-
berpuasa.
So something with the operator here. Let's see if he can get a pick.
Love to see it, but it's a flash and dash for Foxy. Only able to get something. Forsaken good for 2, though, so even though DRX... Oh, well, I spoke too soon. RB stuck around the corner. That's the
Timingnya.
op down. I mean, this is, you know...
The spike is stuck all the way over here near spawn.
I don't know, man. This is tough for PRX.
Okay, so they go ahead.
Gak
and use
seru,
the open
kecewa
ult to
ya,
grab
jangan
it,
kayak
they're
gitu,
gonna come
anjing.
down, and they're gonna plant just behind box. The buy there with the door closed. Killjoy just around the corner here.
Ntar malam, kalau baru kita bacot-bacotan ntar malam, seru nih ntar malam.
RB didn't want to use his Hunter's Fury for this. Maybe wanted to save it for a lockdown instead.
Lockdown, lockdown.
Devias is ult. Curious if he's going to try to pop this to kind of prevent any of the aggression. Buzz is just shutting him out anyway. RB good for another. It's over.
Beautifully done. That's gonna be it. The spike will be defused.
Malam jam berapa? Jam 7.
DRX takes
Jam 7, jam 8, jam 8. Abis sisa pokoknya. Abis sisa kita live lagi nanti, live RP sama Willy, sama Adil. Kita lanjutin RP yang semalam. Ya, meskipun nggak begitu terlalu menarik, tapi overall masih oke lah.
You know, they talked about it. They embraced that W key gaming, right? They embraced that chaos, the aggressiveness, and what I saw.
Ini sih gede banget sih anjing.
Playing off of especially
Buset.
Right. Here today, DRX doesn't give you that. They don't give you that opportunity. They don't make many mistakes.
Yeah, again, there were these moments of brilliance there from PRX, but it seems like where they need to clean up a little bit is in the rounds where they just don't have a lot to work with. We didn't see rounds where they were with share-ups or just using that jet ultimate to try to swing it, right? Their victories were the most expensive. And that's going to be an issue because you have to be able to play scrappy, you have to be able to play cheap in moments if you're going to recover. And DRX is just too tight in those plays.
I'm not sure we had many ecos other than after DRX lost the pistol for them. I mean, they were basically in firm control economically throughout, and that makes things nigh impossible for the side of PRX. So I heard some
Lapar banget
good round here in our studio, which was nice, of course, but predominantly DRX fans. All of our DRX days are sold out for the entire season.
I mean, it's the Korean team in Korea. They're looking pretty popular right now. Although I got to tell you, I'm really happy to see how many other fans have come for other teams that aren't Korean. You know, it shows how cosmopolitan Seoul is.
I've been having a lot of people come up to me after the events and saying hi, and you know.
Makan dulu biar kuat ya. Ini lagi nunggu Gojek. Lagi nunggu Gojek.
So
pengen
we
makan.
saw the first map there on Ascent, DRX. They come out, they dominate. It wasn't as close as we had hoped for. It seems like PRX is not really able to hang in a lot of these moments.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, we're going to see if PRX can do it. We're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be right back with Split. Split in the desk coming up next.
Kita kecilin dulu suaranya, anjing gak jelas deh. Copyright ntar. Anjing, ini sumpah nih keren banget ini first roundnya tadi. Ronde kedua ini anjing es dia. Di Foxy dicari sampai kemit ngehe. Dudut aja. Ini gokil sih. Sambil nunggu buka gimana? Makan biar kuat sambil nunggu buka. Gimana konsepnya gimana? Anjing gimana? Tang aja. Aku takkan pernah berhenti, akan terus memahami. Bentar guys, ngambil gojek lu ya. Ngambil gojek bentar. Ada RR nih. Ada RR nih. RR TS kalau nggak salah. Apakah dia kayak RR Nah. Makan. Wait.
one-sided affair that I think anyone was hoping for, given the power level of these two teams, with DRX currently leading 1-0 against PRX in this best of 3. We're back at the desk. My name is William, joined by Achilles and Valdez, and boy, I mean, what more to say? DRX just kind of single-handedly on all fronts beating out PRX.
Yeah, this was pretty brutal, to say the least. I mean, so much so that we even showed the Foxy versus something stats at the halftime, and it just unfortunately didn't get much better from there. DRX just consistently had a strong raid, and granted, this is one of their best maps historically. We've seen them pull off, legendary comebacks on this map. But unfortunately, this wasn't even close to them being put into that position. A 13-5 scoreline at the gate, a couple round wins here and there from PRX, 2 of them being that second pistol round as well as their anti-eco. But unfortunately, this just wasn't really going to cut it for what we were expecting.
Yeah, we took a look at, of course, the key player matchup that we had highlighted before the matches had started. But, across the board, I just feel like a lot of the members on the side of DRX were just playing better against their counterparts on the side of PRX. Now, obviously, Forsaken had some really huge rounds, a lot of, 2Ks, 3Ks, stuff like that on the Odin. But wasn't really enough to get them across the line. And a lot of the times when PRX had really, breaking points where they had to win a round to really try to bring it back for them, it kind of just always went DRX's way, and sometimes pretty heavily so. So I feel like that's kind of that additional feeling where it's like, okay, not only was the scoreline not that close, but a lot of the rounds where DRX were winning, they were winning with like 2 members up, 3 members up, 4 members sometimes. So pretty one-sided and not really what I was expecting.
Yeah, and I mean, not to rub salt in the wound, but the fact that there was a jet diff there on Ascent, and the fact that DRX was starting on attacking side, which historically at the pro level, people have said is a bit harder, it just goes to show that DRX was able to power through that first half and then keep their lead for the second half. Now, you mentioned it, PRX gets their pistol win in the second half, and looked like they might have a chance, but DRX kind of shuts that down pretty handily in round 15.
Yeah, they did, and we'll go ahead and roll into the tape. And things start off decent. Stacks, I mean, obviously something's already dead, but as they get ready to swing into tree, they find a nice kill. They cut Stacks down before he can cut across over towards Jen, and then it comes down to Mako, as it so often does. You've got Foxy 9 positioned up in heaven. He's going to get tagged, drops down, but Mako's just here to save the day and keep them in this one. Finds 2 quick kills. Foxy swings out, finds Mind Freak as well, even though they're getting pinged. There's just nothing else really at this point that Benkai can do to try to drag it back. Finds one, but the rotation's coming in. Buzz is about to arrive. RB gets there, and they're able to clean it up. And this is kind of the straw that broke the camel's back at the end of it all.
It was pretty interesting to see, even when DRX were getting behind in matches, in some of the rounds rather, just some incredible clutch moments, right? And I feel like they really wanted to win this match. We even saw Buzz with a little bit of BM there after he took down something that one time. Just, you could feel it, right? These guys were just kind of, it's almost like they already took it personally, even though it was just like a little bit of friendly back and forth, of course. We already highlighted Forsaken. He had a pretty fantastic map, but unfortunately the rest of the team has to come in behind him. Yeah,
I mean, but let's look at that, right? I mean, Forsaken clearly adjusting just fine to the Killjoy role, where, Buzz has been playing Killjoy for a little bit longer now as that ex-duelist, and Forsaken saying, I can do just as well, if not better.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't coming into this expecting that Forsaken's Killjoy was going to be able to deliver, another 2 aces. Even 1 ace, I think, against DRX would be a bridge too far to hope for. But he still has incredible play when it comes down to this, and it just shows how malleable Forsaken is as a player when you just slot him onto something, because we have not really seen him play anything other than Duelist. He has been kind of the face of W Gaming, he and Jing leading that cause for PRX for so very long. And seeing him still continue to do this well in a fairly devastating loss, 13-5, is still positive, for Forsaken under the microscope. For the team overall, obviously, still heavy concerns as far as how they're going to adjust. Granted, this is DRX's map pick. In Ascent, they have their map pick coming up, but I don't know if it's enough to sway me yet.
Okay, now, of course, it is split, right, where anything can happen. DRX historically hates this map, and it is the map they were challenged the most on, right, against Global Esports, where it actually went into double overtime.
It did go into double overtime against Global Esports, and, that one was kind of a funky matchup, right? I was really surprised to see DRX actually push to the limit against Global Esports. I thought this would be the match where they would be pushed to the limit. So they took the 13-3 against Talon, right? So they have played this map a couple of times already, and both times it's a win, although the one against Global Esports, I think Global was really overperforming. DRX maybe a little bit shakiness. Foxy 9 his first time in. I feel like they're going to be really ready for this one. And honestly, I think what we saw from PRX in this first map is not really enough to take them down, even if it is their map pick.
I mean, one of the crucial things that made the difference there was not only Aaron shot calling on that split map, because he had excellent ideas. He was reading DRX incredibly well, but it was also obviously Menit, who then set a new land kill record in 39 kills.
Yeah.
I don't see this happening or even coming close, given the unfortunately the form that we've been seeing from Mindfreak right now. If you're not going to have that control that can really hold down a site on their own and just take over, have these great lurk plays, then I'm just not sure if what the game plan is going to look like here from the set of PRX.
Okay, but I got to ask you probably your favorite question of the weekend, all right? We saw Talon bring out 3 duelists on split. Does PRX do the same? I mean, if we say Yoru's possibility, it's always got to be Forsaken in the mix, right?
If that made me cringe harder, my face would have just imploded on itself. Look, I said this when Talon ran it. If you're going to run triple duelist, it needs to be PRX style. You need to have controlled chaos. And that's something that PRX have even been struggling with as of late.
Sure.
Thinking back to them bringing out the Yoru, playing it on Lotus and whatnot, it has had its stumbles and its struggles in the recent times. But if you're going to do it, it has to be, you have to be able to turn the nameplates off and be like, oh, that's probably PRX.
Right. Just
Talon didn't come close to clearing that test. If PRX want to bring out triple duelist, color me intrigued once again.
Okay.
I'm open to it, but I'm also not going to put that much faith in it. Because DRX, they know how to temper aggression. They've played against some of the most aggressive teams in the world. And they know how to slow you down, and I think that if they want to try to bring this, and if they try to bring out triple duelist, unless they have something completely new to show us, DRX, it's going to maybe take a couple rounds of adjustment, and they're going to be like, okay, boom, got them downloaded, and they're just going to be able to counteract it from there.
Sure. And of course, we also got to mention the fact that Jing was sitting out that first map, but Split, we've seen a lot of teams run the double duelist, oftentimes Jing with the raise. Surely there's a consideration for Jing coming back in and maybe even having an explosive performance against DRX.
Well, I really hope he does, right? If he doesn't, I think after what we saw, the performance from multiple members on the side of PRX in map 1, you got to make some kind of sub, right? I think that DRX came out to play, whereas PRX were a little bit slow, and they got behind, and they were not able to really match the level of play. So rather than try to go for some kind of crazy strategy, you know, triple duelist, this, whatever, maybe go double or just, you know, get Jing back in and see what he can do.
I think the biggest question is not whether or not Jing is going to be coming back in, but it's more about who is he going to be replacing. Is this going to be a 1-for-1 with something like we saw before? Is it going to be, you know, Benkai stepping, Devi going to be calling? Is Forsaken going to step out? You know, there's a couple of different things that they could try to arrange going for that double duelist. But I think that ultimately Jing will be coming back in here. And if he doesn't, then I think that they're throwing. I think that you need... no, I'm not even trying to... You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think that they're throwing. I think you need to have that explosive entry power that a Raze brings on this map in particular. And if they don't have Jing bringing out that Raze, I think that they are just letting it go.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it on the stats we looked at in the pre-show, right? Even though the changes have come through and attacks have gotten easier, it's still somewhat favoring the defensive side so far here in Pacific. So curious to see what the changes look like. And like you said, who does he step in for? Because the last time we saw PRX play against Team Secret on Split, we didn't see Benkai playing the Cypher, which he often does so well. He was actually playing the Viper. So clearly still trying to juggle their own Asian comps on Split, but now they picked it with confidence against DRX.
They have. And again, I'm still worried about that, not only just from the perspective of who is playing in this lobby, what era of DRX it is. Because overall, you mentioned DRX, they don't like this map, but they're also so damn good at it.
Yes.
All time, their record is 44-5. They have a 90% win rate on Split. And all the way back in 2021, I keep bringing this up every time they play Split, this was their longest standing win streak, where they had won something like 25 times on Split without dropping it once. But there we go. The answer has come up for us. Jing is going to be stepping in, so Benkai is out, which means that this is going to be, in all likelihood, Devi leading the IGLing for this match.
Right, yeah, Devi stepping into that IGL role, and most likely we have to assume that Forsaken probably still playing that Sentinel role with the Killjoy, while Jing and something play double duelist, but, I mean, the triple's there, right? The board has been set up. Let's wait to see.
The moment of truth.
Ooh,
okay, no,
on
it's on Sky.
Okay, so Forsaken taking the Sky over Devi, and Devi actually now playing that Lurker role with the Viper, and then Mindfreak on that Astro well, so the comp itself stays the same.
Okay, so this makes perfect sense, though, because, I mean, obviously we're saying, okay, Forsaken looking very good when it comes down to playing the Killjoy, but you need some form of info gathering. You don't have an ult command, you don't have anything else you don't have, recon darts, etc. So the sky flashes will at least allow them to know whether or not somebody is there. It's really going to come down to Forsaken setting up for Jing and something to be able to then swing off of the back of those flashes and be able to find value.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, the picks are set. It's map number 2 between DRX and PRX, as DRX currently leads 1-0 in this best of 3. Let's get ready for a split with Tasteless and Paper Thin.
Weh,
Excellent
siapa
work
kok
at the
something
desk,
masih
boys.
main?
We're gonna go
Jingnya udah
now
agak
into map
anjing
2,
gimana sih?
and I am hoping that PRX can bring a better performance here, because right now DRX is looking very untouchable.
No doubt. I mean, that was about as clean as it gets for DRX versus PRX. And that was a very one-sided affair. Now with Jing in there, we know how good he is on Raze. We know he can cause so many problems. His flash packs are probably the best in the Pacific right now. I think a lot of things are leaning PRX's
Siapa yang diganti
way in terms
Dava
of-
ya?
This is a map that
Nggak lihat lagi
DRX,
anjing.
even though like Achilles was talking about, has a phenomenal win percentage. A lot of those games are very close. A lot of overtimes in there. A lot of
Oh
barely wins.
ini Benkai,
over the side of
Benkai
DRX. So,
diganti.
I think this one should be a much closer map. I think, that being said, it is a DRX starting on the defender side.
Benkai
And
diganti.
so for PRX here, you feel like they gotta have that
Something masih
explosive threat.
ditahan-tahan
Gotta
ya.
come out with
Anjing,
these.
padahal mainnya sampah loh.
Yeah, and they've got to win rounds where it's just going to come down to gunplay and reaction time. They were able to beat DRX in rounds that were expensive, where they were using their ultimates or using a lot of utility. But it just seems like so far DRX has superior gunplay. To start things off, I think we need to have PRX take a few round lead here and try to build up that momentum. We're going to see what happens as we now go into round 1.
Yeah, just finding a little bit there with that flash, but not much other information to be found. So now PRX is going to put their toxic screen up, try to cut towards a heaven, and now pushes on, a dash through, something. No contact just yet. Buzz just pushes out, but Foxy9 and Stacks get a couple. It's a 2 for 2.
Jing fights back, and Foxy takes Jing out, becoming more and more of a trade.
Enemy remaining.
And it looks like now it's just Davai remaining, about 20% HP.
Davai,
left,
Davai,
Spike in and
Davai.
backing out. But Mako is just
Round
around
1
the
selalu
corner.
kalah mereka anjing.
Ooh, they trade it. Mako now at 21
Gila,
HP,
mundurnya jauh
both
banget ini.
wounded.
Able to use that toxic screen to safely get through. Still RB there. Throws up a star. Puts up a smoke. That's just to kind of keep Davai at bay, I think, to allow for some repositions here. Give some time.
Gila
for
niat
Mako
banget
to
lihat
swing
Vipernya.
all the
Lihat
way
Viper
through
musuh
sewers.
anjing.
Let's see what Davai
Viper
wants.
DRX.
It looks like
Mako,
RP is
Mako
gonna
lihat
be
muter
creeping back
anjing
out. We
niat
could have an
ngentot.
engagement right over here. Davai
Timingnya.
around this corner, and he is taken out. The first one on
The
the board
timingnya.
goes to DRX.
I mean, Mako there, coming in at the right time from A stairs. Strikes when he is most needed. Good start here for Stacks and Foxy9. They get a couple big kills on the entry to at least slow things up a bit. But then, PRX fires back. They get a couple themselves. But at the end of the day, I mean, dude, you look at Mako's player cam and he looks like he's doing like data entry. He's just sitting there.
He's
there's
just
like-
moving through spreadsheets.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, but like you talk to him and it's funny because he said in interviews he's actually like really nervous and he's got a lot of emotion underneath, but he does just look so
Lihat nih
stoic.
apa
he
namanya?
certainly doesn't wear it on his
Jet
face.
sampah
I'll say
anjing.
that much. We go now to round 2 as we have some creeping occurring just over here at B. We've got RB as the first line of defense.
Hebat
Astro
katanya.
Bubbles ready. And Foxy9, it's going to be that duel we've seen so many times of Foxy9 versus something. Something whiffs and is now drained to about 30% HP. They can't get into B. They're going to back up. It's a long walk in through A, especially if nobody goes through mid, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So over here on the other side, Stacks as well as Buzz will be on the receiving end.
Tuh
Yeah,
kalau misalkan
so
mau rotate tuh
The
satu
good
orang
news here
harus
for PRX is
tahan
that
gitu.
None of those flashes
Apapun yang terjadi, close
from
angle
Stacks have found
gitu.
any info. So this is going to be undetected.
Kalau ada yang nge-push atau ada yang
until
ngambil
there's
op, dia
contact
langsung
made.
bantai.
Now the contact
Kuat.
has been made, so DRX has to rotate quickly.
Stacks gets that first shot there onto Divide. Not able to get it just yet, and the defense is so good with Buzz taking Jing out as well. Spike is going to be up
30
over
seconds
here
left.
in the upper area of A. We've still got Mako down here lurking, and he gets 2. Unreal!
Spike down mid.
Fuck.
DRX is
It could not have been more perfect.
that was so good. It's so funny because in the past DRX has made it clear that they are not a big fan of shotguns, and it's a big reason why they sometimes avoid this map is because it works. So now they're kind of like, well, I guess it works for everybody else. We better do it too.
I guess it's time to sit in vents with the judge after all.
Eventually, like,
Look at this.
if you're if you're the hero long enough, eventually you become the villain, right?
yeah. Great closer, not giving PRX an inch here. So far, the defense has been good. That critical third round is now upon us. The one where, you know, there's going to be a little bit of better weaponry here in the hands of PRX. Can they make it work, and if so, how? Right now, I see a pretty even spread with no clear committed territory.
Almost feels must win.
Karena dia kalau senjata ngeras nih, lihat anjing. Gitu guys. Karena dia kalau senjata itu.
Good reaction here, good little bait and switch from PRX.
Kalau main jarak jauh juga nggak guna, jadi ngeras. Ini initiate buat ngeras gitu.
Gonna leave some spots open here. We see some tension building here into mid. Something lurking just inside the smoke. Shots fired out. He can't connect, so he backs back out.
He knew something was up.
It seems like they may seesaw back over into B.
Yeah,
but we saw in the previous round how that went. They weren't able to get anywhere in there.
I like this, though, because they know that there's a fair amount of defenses that has been towards A. They're able to get the initial kill. They take quite a bit of damage, something down to just 5 health, but I like this. Again, they're keeping DRX honest by pushing them to certain sides of the map and then able to try to get through, you know, lesser defenses on the other side.
Yeah, they're going to plant the spike right by the stairs. Mako going to come down here. Sheriff in hand. Something so low.
Ngapain sih something anjing?
One more agent. Like,
gua tahu lu tapi berguna dikit bangsat.
Oh, very good coverage over here from PRX. Just Mako remaining. You can't imagine a world where this is going to work. This should be the first PRX win on the board, and a very important one at that, because let's not forget how the game on Ascent went. It was really just DRX win after win after win, where even though PRX pulled through later on and started to perform pretty well, it wasn't enough. The lead was too great. And so this is a great start here for PRX if you're rooting for them.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Mako does find another kill. Not the end of the world for PRX, but I'm not so sure you wanted to give that one over. They are able to keep Mako from dying to the spike there. So that is an extra ult orb for the side PRX, which is nice. But yeah, I like what you're saying, right? Because last time at the beginning of the map, it was DRX winning round 3, right? They won the bonus. And here, PRX able to recover and get themselves a round. Some damage done, but not significant in terms of their guns and that kind of thing. You know, Mako gets the one, okay, fine. But they're able to prevent him from taking the gun or dying to the spike either way. I think Mako maybe didn't have quite enough time to get out, it looked like. But regardless, a nice little round there. Let's see what they can do. Jing, fast entry. But it's going to be slowed up here by some snake bites and other utility. Going to dodge KO knife. So no information given over other than just the sound cues from Jing's entry.
Yeah, they do have something all the way onto the B side yet. They've prepped up into A, but haven't managed to get that spike in there just yet. They're going to try to come out. They do end up spotting the KO deep over there onto the defender's side.
Well, now they should know that there's at least 3 here. They're going to use the Seekers to try to buy some space, see if they can clear a way into heaven, but it's not going to happen. They're going to back off, but something's rotating back over, so this looks like it may be a fake rotate here for the side of PRX. See if they can catch DRX a little bit off guard. Stacks saw him, has to flash, got a good one, but...
Oh, yeah, he was a little bit too greedy with that flash there. There was not enough room for him to try to come out. Kind of an impulsive move there, and now the spike's going to get into A and get planted just by Pillar.
It's a great shot call from, we assume, Devi. He's calling shots for
when
Ben Kai's not here. To fake a rotate. They've been doing this a lot in the beginning of the map here, going to one side, kind of putting some pressure, and then rotating to the other side, whether it be start at B, start at A, rotate to the other side. This time around, they fake it. They're like, okay, let's make it look like we're doing that, and then we're going to sneak right underneath DRX's noses when they're not ready for it.
Udah anjing apa? Bener-bener dicari lu nih.
But like you said, he just couldn't really quite react in time.
Bener-bener mau dicari anjing, parah banget.
PRX is there hunting for guns, but DRX pretty far away, already over in B garage.
Yeah, good save there. PRX not willing to overextend, and PRX goes on the hunt. They never managed to find them. And we're tied up 2-2, and I got to say, already, this is a lot more exciting and a lot closer than our first map. It seems like PRX in very good shape.
Yeah, and again, this is a map that certainly, you know, DRX has showed weakness on. And so I respect the teams want to play them. We saw a Talon last week. They tried the triple duelist, didn't go so good. But here for PRX, so far it looks great. Now you get a timeout, an early one, maybe the earliest that DRX has taken that I can remember so far this year.
DRX didn't even time out at all in the last map. I mean, they never really had hit any kind of roadblocks there. But I think this is a wise move here. We're going to talk to the players, and they got to figure out what exactly are they doing wrong. It does seem like there's been some shaky tactics used over here on the defender's side. Like we saw Stacks back there. He saw the shoulder of one of the agents coming down, and he tried to do a pop flash, and he had nowhere to retreat to. Like, and it was just, I think, especially with somebody like Stacks, if he just took the shot and backed out, and then saved that
Short
flash
back
later
down.
on,
A short back
that
down.
might be the move. But you know, so far so good here for PRX. They're able to push in and secure these locations, and they've won the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, and I fully agree with you. I think Stacks
Everybody
probably overthought that
get
situation just a little bit there. His reaction to it wasn't what he probably wanted. If he could go back in time and do it again, I think you're right that he would rather just go for the shots. I think that's certainly the better play. But right now, I think, you know, for DRX, I think you need to be a little bit closer to the vest here with your utility early in the round. Hold on to it a little bit longer because you're seeing PRX kind of fake taking space, fake entries that haven't amounted to a real push. Oh, Stacks though.
No.
Oh my God, with the frenzy.
Crazy Stacks just comes out and gets that first kill. Great drop on him. And now we've got something on the move in here. Takes out
Jauh
two. Foxy
banget,
and Buzz
tumben.
are out of the picture.
Great up and over there from something. Doing some serious damage. Mako right in the middle of that snake bite. Has to back off. Not the buy. Good for it. And now you are on RB with the Bucky.
Yeah, but that's going to be it. A short round.
Nice one.
What do you expect? DRX with some
Comeback
alternative
nih.
strats. I especially like Stacks. Just
Nggak
coming
comeback
out with the
sih.
frenzy and getting
Maksudnya-
the kill.
Why not, right?
Yeah.
Ya,
It worked.
menang nih kayaknya Ron ini.
It
Mapnya dia.
isn't bad if it works. Of course, this is like a great idea from Stacks, but
Yeah.
something here gets the spot.
Lagi echo,
Sees one,
echo.
and on the way down, gets the final one.
Literally in midair,
That's
falling,
crazy.
and firing with a Vandal.
How do you
Crazy.
teach me how to control the Vandal
Yeah,
like
I
that?
have no idea. And so this is the first time now that PRX has been in the lead in our best of 3. How far can they go? This next round, a pivotal one, as big buys are coming in here. Something, by the way, on the operator, and he's going to be at B. Right now, a lot more action, frankly, a lot more sound over here at A. But we see something going to come down here, and RB, oh no, he's got this crosshair on the right, but RB's actually going to be on the left. That almost hit.
That
That
did
is so
almost
crazy.
hit. RB there, you know, having a
An
shot
RB
whizzed by the
there
ears.
for
Now the push
you.
is on. It looks like towards the A site, but DRX is playing very, very safe. Those Seekers, though, they're all going kind of the wrong way. Okay, finally they turn up into heaven, and now they're going to know that there's a lot of activity going on. So DRX just standing pat here, just trying to find the flank angles. But look at this. Mako through sewer, something through spawn.
Yeah,
Aduh,
this is such a funny lurk.
anjing.
We have the player with the operator lurking here. Stacks trades out. Buzz gets the kill onto Mind Freak.
Down A.
Something is lurking, but I think that Mako's going to
Duh,
come
nggak ada yang
behind.
ngeliat.
Standing.
Beautifully done. 2 birds, 1 stone there. Gets the kill. Just Jing left over. And let's
Nggak ada yang
remember,
ngeliat
that was an
Mako, anjing, dari
extremely
belakang, dari
big
sewer.
buy round there for
GG.
PRX. You don't normally see that, though. The player or the operator alone on the other side of the map, and they're going to try to lurk back in like that. Mako, great play in the sewers. You know, ultimately, you know, they thought nobody was behind him. It was not the case at all.
Well, we've seen this a couple times where PRX is so confident in something's individual skill that they'll send him out on his own.
Yeah.
To say, look, you're good enough that we trust your individual senses and ability to get the
Gila,
job
game
done,
sense-nya
whatever
tinggi
the
banget.
situation may be. And this time, you know, we saw it in Ascent where he tried to push deep into DRX territory with the Blade Storm out. Didn't go his way. This time with the op, even though he doesn't get the kill, you know, he buys some time. He gets a little bit of confusion going early. And still, though, Mako with the better counter move. You know, I don't think at all what PRX did in that round was necessarily bad. It was just what DRX did was better. And Mako lurking like that completely caught them off guard.
Looks like we might have our first push up into mid. We haven't had that much action over here yet. But we see the spike is now being couriered up here. There is
Sumpah ini something kayak orang bingung anjing.
PRX. Oh, and hold on a second. Mako is going to loop around over here into Mail. And here we go. Beautiful spray into the smoke. Something already taken out. Showstopper ready. And it whips.
Unbelievable. The DRX was ready for it.
Sumpah gara-gara si ini anjing, kalau mau tahu nih gara-gara jetnya lompat-lompat. Stepnya kedengeran anjing.
But the follow up there from Foxy9 with the snake bite underneath on the landing pad.
Jadi langsung dibantai sama Mako.
So well dialed up there on the fly from DRX.
All right, Forsaken coming out. Mako all the way in the back. They are into mid. It's going to be a low stack over here down on A. It's Buzz and Stacks waiting. And actually, Mako's going to be able to wrap around. This is not going to be an easy A seizure here. Oh, Stacks is so good. Another flash. And look at the tactics being executed now.
Yeah,
I mean, PRX is getting killed. They don't even see what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. PRX just, they're trying to find the timings to come out, and every time DRX is reading it perfectly with their flashes. You know, they flash and push out. Sure, they lose one there, but it doesn't matter. They win the round. That's what's more important here. This reaction from Mako is just dumb. That's not even fair. I mean, that's just
wild. Yeah.
So good. And look at Foxy finds the perfect timing.
And look at this. Every time you see the lights over their eyes
timing.
Flash, I mean, it just means the setup could not be better. Every little bit that they're spending into the round is getting utilized, and it's getting them the kills. They're getting value.
Exactly.
And you know, here we are, the second time out here. This time for PRX, they were starting to take the lead, and we see this from time to time. The further into a half you get, the better weapons you get, the more utility you get. And that's when a good team can create an opportunity against another team, and that's what DRX did back there.
Yeah, exactly. It was a great timeout from Termi. You know, you almost always see DRX come out of timeouts and win the next round.
Yeah.
Or their next buy round, at least. I should put it that way. They're so adept at reading their opponents and coming up with new stuff. Now I want to see, like, you know, DRX saw some creativity there as well, the reaction to Jing's ult. So that's good. A lot of the boxes you want to see ticked here for DRX are being ticked. You've got good responses to what PRX is throwing at them. You've got good kind of mid-rounding decisions. And now you're not kind of falling for some of PRX's map, you know, back and forth. They're trying to be tricky with their rotations. So far, the discipline is paying off. Now, PRX is going to dodge that early knife. But now Stacks is going to recheck, and he's going to confirm. So good staggering of utility here for DRX to keep track of at least some of the positions of PRX. They're going to hide Foxy.
Yeah, we've actually got Foxy with a bit of a lurk over here.
They're not ready at all.
Oh, yeah. Actually missed that first shot. Doesn't matter. Pulls back around. Devi takes Stacks out. Oh! Beautifully done. Forsaken is gone. Getting that value out of the showstopper. They're not even able to really make any ground over here into A. They can't get through that first hallway.
That was such a good set play there.
Man. Oh my God, Mako's reaction timing is just insane. And one by one, we're seeing PRX drop off. It's not over yet. Devi and something still pushing up here into A heaven. Mako lurking just outside of vents. And around this corner is Foxy9, who just has the most beautiful spray down. Closing that out and giving us the fifth round win. You know, there was this moment of this glimmer of hope for PRX for a little bit. I'm worried it might be short-lived. It does seem like DRX is really starting to hunker down and figure out how exactly PRX is thinking.
I mean, this trap play is so well thought out here by DRX, right? Like, Foxy takes initial contact, then Stacks is there to throw his utility and swing off of it. And even if Stacks dies, then Foxy has another out with the blast packs in his ult. I mean, that's just so well layered there from DRX. The early spotting with the utility, that whole round was them just toying with PRX, just completely reading them.
Okay, so it's going to be, at least for now, a little bit of tension building up over here today. They're going to go with the same double stack, the lurk over here for Foxy9.
Aduh, tolol.
He will be able to hear them if they go through sewers too quickly.
Yeah, now I think PRX is trying to see if they can catch, you know, DRX doing something a little bit too aggressive, maybe getting a little bit overconfident. They're not
Oh
gonna,
my God.
they didn't see him.
Okay, so this is very bad intel right now. It doesn't really matter, though, because the spike is almost over to the B site. It's going to be, it's RB again over here.
They're anticipating it. That's Mako's poison cloud. Let's see. Smokes are up as well from RB, and
my
he's just
God.
break through. He knows they're coming.
That was incredible. Mako's taken out by Devi. Jing gets the jump. RB takes him back out, gets the revenge. RB keeps it going.
Ooh, what a shot.
Something has something to say about that.
30
And that means
seconds
it's going to
left.
be a 2 versus 2. The spike is not planted yet. Something gets another. Ooh, Buzz is so low.
One enemy
One.
remaining.
2!
Ah,
Unreal!
Abi.
One of the most important rounds in map 2 was clutched by Buzz. He had almost no HP. Had something just gotten that one click off, it'd be a different story. It would be 5-4. Instead, it's 6-3.
This is just such a great read here from RB and Mako. You know, the poison cloud comes up, RB smokes go up. They're ready for that push. RB gets a free kill, but Jing has a great entry there with the blast pack that breaks the crosshairs of Mako and the initial defenses of DRX. So they're able to gain some space, get in there, allow something to put that operator to good use. But Buzz, just too much. The firepower, the depth for DRX is just too good.
All right, so RB's going to be, he was peeking into garage. He did get it confirmed. They both did, actually, as Sky's Bird, spotted Buzz. Buzz going to pull back. Making a lot of noise over here, but this does appear to be a ruse. Spike's actually over here at A. They are pulling Mako back, but not too far out of center. Mako's not convinced either. Meanwhile, radio silence over here onto the A site. Scouting does confirm there's some agents over here.
Surely Foxy 9's position can't work again, right?
Yeah.
Surely.
I keep looking at this and I'm like, you can't do this every time, right? But maybe it's that kind of counterintuitive idea, right? That, you know, they're assuming there's going to be more randomization in the positions. And well, all right, he does pop out, but he doesn't get the kill. Devi gets the better half of that.
That's a huge opener because now you force DRX to lose control of A Heaven, which is such an important part of the A site. Now they're going to try to just push through the back, and it's a double swing, and Mako can only get one before Jing with the Vandal finds him.
All right, they're going to try to come all the way around from the back. Stack Stakes might freak out.
Last player standing. Strike down
That's
A.
a wild interaction. Forsaken, you can barely see any health on the bar.
I was like, is he
Yeah,
dead?
I was confused. I thought our like overlay bugged out or something. So RB's going to come in here. This is doable, and if he does do it, it would be another insane clutch moment, especially after DRX stole that round in the last one from PRX.
Trying to double swing him, waiting for him to pop out. He can't find the kill on the Jing on the cross. Jing has to use that paint shells to buy a little bit of time.
They're going to try to make a gauntlet for RB to move through. RB decides to instead go up into heaven.
No real reason to
Yeah.
save, but if he didn't want to, I would respect it if he went for it. But there just isn't enough time. So
Yeah, I think he just doesn't. It's too difficult. Just bring the gun into the next round. And I don't know that they're going to find him either. And so now it's going to be 6-5, a pleasantly close, back and forth here. 6-4,
6-4,
excuse me.
yeah. No, this is great. I mean, honestly, for PRX, this is fine. You got 3 rounds in a row. You've got another round. If they get one more, they can make the 7-5. Hell, if they can make the 6-6, that's respectable on split. Which is playing a little bit more balanced since the map
Ngantuk
changes.
lagi.
Very kind of attacker-sided map changes they made
Right.
in the most recent update to it. But yeah, I mean, I think overall, you know, you're seeing some really good stuff from PRX. They're making good adjustments now. They're reading the positions of DRX. You know, DRX trying to sort of rock, paper, scissors them with some of those maneuvers. Now Buzz has an operator, has his ult. They're trying to bait out for him with a little bit of utility here, but Jing's utility is going to spot him. Oh my God.
Doesn't get the connection. Shot a little bit too late. The operator's going to be pulled all the way back towards spawn now. And they're making some noise over here at B. Nobody's committed yet. The spike is still waiting. And there's going to be a push into mid here. The Foxy's ready.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I can't believe that. See the barrel of the gun come out first. You'd think that Foxy would have gotten connections, but he does not.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
that was wild.
I'm surprised he even got one kill now. Oh my God, Stacks
What the
gets
fuck?
3! Unbelievable, Stacks!
It's like suddenly nothing else mattered.
I thought this was PRX's round.
Unreal. 7-4. One more round left in the first half. An
Gila, Stack
expensive
jago banget,
loss here for
anjing.
PRX.
Stacks from the top rope, just dropping the elbow down on him, man.
Crazy.
Anjing, anjing.
I was just, I thought this was going great. Yeah, like you said, Jin gets that swing. Just can't react to it. Buzz is only good for one, and then Stacks just able to kind of sneak up on the back of the stairs, and nobody's
Keluar
watching
lagi
for
tank,
PRX.
anjing.
That's kind of
Gila,
a-
stuck nih, bos.
Either a miscommunication or kind of a lack of protocols set up for that situation. Somebody needs to be watching that area, and they didn't.
All right, showstopper, but can he find a target? Oh my God, Jing does take RB out. Heals back up. It's going to be a plant on B. It looks like it might be a very quick final round to this. All right, something in Foxy9. The duel is won this time by Foxy9 once more. He's going to wrap around. Jing is not able to stop him.
Huge push coming now.
Flash.
Oh, they stop it. They stop it.
All right, it's just Stacks left.
Nice.
And then there were none. That's going to be at 7-5 here, and it delightfully close. Back and forth here with DRX and
Switching
PRX.
sides.
DRX with just the slightest lead.
That timing there to push out on the Buzz as he was going for that flash saved the round. I think it was Devi who got the kill. That's a huge moment there. Because this looked like, once Foxy gets this kill, they're starting to push corners. Foxy gets a second, and I think, okay, this is done. But this time it's Devi who's playing himself. And is able to cut off Buzz before that flash around the corner where his other two teammates were waiting. Because that flash comes around, and you got to feel like, it's going to take some immaculate shooting and reactions from PRX to win that battle against Buzz. But Devi this time kind of solved flat, Stacks to it the previous round where he's like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I should flank from Heaven too.
Really great first half, honestly. DRX is in the lead. That does make me a little bit worried here for PRX because, whether it's short or it's a very long match, a win is a win. And it does seem like DRX is overall a little bit better at playing catch-up. But I think we saw some much better overall strats and executions here for PRX. But they're going to have an even stronger second half than they did already here on Split. Or this is going to be a 2-0, and DRX is going to walk out of here once again undefeated.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Da 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 da. Iya da.
we're going to go to B, we're going to put up a smoke, we're going to send a flash through, and then we're going to rotate to A. Or we're going to send a flash through and we're going to rotate through mid. Like they would use the same information at the beginning of the round to set up a different play. So things like that, definitely you could see that PRX feels more comfortable on this map.
Right. Now, it did seem like when DRX was on, they were very much on. Like every flash was connecting. They were able to swing and take these great shots. But we did see some weird moments back there, especially from Stacks, where he had that weird impulsive flash that, he wasn't even able to get his gun out in time. But, PRX is making DRX work, I'll say that much. This is already a much closer map. I think PRX might be able to pull through here with a map 2 win, and maybe bring us to map 3 on Fracture.
Certainly. Yeah,
Udahlah, DRX menang aja 2-0.
take that. That's definitely
Udah,
and who knows?
biar kita tutup
Maybe it's an overtime.
dengan
Maybe it's
kemenangan
split.
DRX.
This is the map that just seemingly brings
Sampah coy
overtimes.
PRX.
Yeah.
Like Santa brings, presents on Christmas, man. Like this is a great map in terms of how evenly it seems to end up for a lot of teams. Flash out the rip. Foxy there does spot Jing behind.
Fumbled a little bit there, wasn't able to make any connections. Something so low on HP along with Jing, but something then takes Foxy9 out. As long as you're still alive, you can still do damage, and that's exactly what something's going to do.
Very weak players for PRX though. Dax finding something
Retake
there
katanya.
on the
Retake ayo
backside.
kita
So
retake.
good push. Now let's see what PRX has on
We
this
need
retake.
retake.
Little
Sabar,
bit
gua
of
duluan,
utility, a little bit of
gua
sky utility.
Tar dulu
Snake
gua
bites.
dogi dulu. Anjing kena anjing kena. Maju bertiga.
Stag's going to come around here, and he doesn't get either. Forsaken wipes, just Buzz remaining, and then there's none. And now it's getting closer and closer. It's going to be 7-6. PRX with an incredible defuse here.
another huge pistol round win for PRX.
Yeah, and you know, again, much needed if they're going to come out ahead here. It's going to be off the back of a pistol round win.
Yeah, I think that swing out, you know, wasn't a bad idea. Just went right across Forsaken's crosshairs as he was lining it down. I mean, I like the idea, just the timing in terms of where stacks ended up lining up. It just, he kind of unintentionally just took the same angle that Mako was at, put his head right in Forsaken's crosshair. And that's all she wrote there for that round. So, yeah, DRX has a tough task, certainly now. Just classics. A little bit of utility there from Device. He sets up with his judge to try to harass any maybe fast hits or something like that if DRX just slam through.
And they may just go right by him, though. Everybody's going to slowly maneuver up into a heaven.
Blinded.
Forsaken comes out with the scout, gets the confirm. Oh my God, so good. Damn, RP is sick. That was wild. He's going to come in here once again with a spike plant over in the very back of A. Forsaken, what is happening with Forsaken in the second half of this map on Split? He's killing everybody.
Anjing.
Good, and something good for the final one with the judge. Yeah, Forsaken has been really good this second half already. He's got like 5 or 6 kills. Phenomenal.
7-7. Such a strong start here for PRX. And they're doing exactly what we said they needed to do. They need to step it up here in these early rounds. They can't just win the most expensive rounds they have. And if they're going to be able to do this, I think we could end up with a win or maybe even overtime. Who knows?
I think so. It looks that way to me. This certainly smells of overtime or a third map. You know, are they going to be the first ones to take a map off DRX here in VCT Pacific? Time will tell, but a tough task now. DRX guns in hands, but there's a few rifles in PRX's buy as well. So the boom bot there.
Something comes out there with the push. It looks like DRX is going to wane away here from B Garage, creeping through Ramen. But there's some possible encounters here with Forsaken, who, by the way, Forsaken's been playing out of his mind in the second half so far.
Yeah.
I think he's gotten like 50% of the kills in the first 2 rounds of the second half. It's crazy.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, it's been really nuts. What is this? That
The dog is strafing.
The dog jiggle.
The dog is jiggle peeking.
It's like it looks like Yoru's like clone that he sends out. You know, like just gets stuck on walls, and you're like, oh man. Oh no.
Something gets one. Pop peeks. Oh, he's going to try to get away. He actually does manage to get out of there. Beautiful play there by something. Bunny hops away.
Able to snag that Phantom on the way out as well, so that's nice. Seekers come out, but quickly dealt with here by Buzz, so not much information, but Jing doesn't need it. He's just good with it. Foxy on the trade, so Raze v Raze comes up DRX. 3v3 now. Yeah,
trade after trade. It's 3v3, as you said. Paper thin. They're going to be coming up into A.
30 seconds
Devi is going to be ready. Devi actually sees the hat of Raze. Doesn't take a shot, and it's going to lurk down here. Beautifully done. Spike now dropped. Devi gets another. Oh my God. Unbelievable. Such good defense. PRX pulls ahead with an 8-7 lead. They're just not being stopped.
No, they're better right now. I mean, those shots from Devi, crisp. I mean, that's just insane stuff here with these Bulldogs. We've seen it now with Forsaken and also with Devi. I mean, that reaction right there is insane. So now DRX looks a little bit off balance. I'd like to see maybe a timeout coming through for DRX here pretty soon, maybe. It is all stingers, so this is a low eco round here.
Yeah, this is. I mean, if they win it, it would be incredible, but it's very unlikely. And so this is probably going to go 9-7 here, unless DRX can really do some kind of miracle play. Something perched back here with the operator. Forsaken, I guess we missed it, but Forsaken did end up taking out Foxy 9. Buzz gets revenge for him.
Yeah, they tried to blast pack in to take out Forsaken, but he was pretty ready. However, the follow-up was good, so they're able to upgrade a gun at least. Put a Vandal into Buzz's hands. Now it looks like DRX shifting their weight back towards the B side here. Mind Freak in a really important duel, because RB had that spike. If RB dies there, well, that's not good either. Aqua going down to Jake.
All right, Buzz takes Mind Freak out. Again, it could still go either way here. It looks like they're going to get an easy plant up onto B. They've sandbagged the rest of PRX out. They're going to have to try to come through that alley. It's going to be something pushing with the operator. He's like the only guy that seems to be able to pull this kind of stuff off.
Yeah.
But Buzz comes from the side.
You are divided.
Astro Wall comes down and blocks Jing out. Whatever's on the other side of that is a mystery for now. The spike ticks away.
RB there. Almost able to get one, but now it's the backstab from Stacks again from heaven, but only the stinger.
This could go either way.
Oh, this is so close. A tap of the spike, but no, it's Devi!
Huge play
Wah,
here from
dikit lagi
Devi.
DRX,
That's
anjing.
going to be the 9th win.
Gila kalau Eko
mean,
win sih
still,
GG itu anjing.
It's a good
Anjing,
eco
dikit
round
lagi.
for DRX, even though they don't win it, but they
Yeah.
needed to, you almost felt like if that round comes through, they might turn this map and win it instead of...
Yeah. I mean, that was a clutch moment there to recover that. But yeah, I mean, talk about, bending time and space to your will here. DRX doing that off of the cheapest, worst guns you can have.
Yeah, I mean, a big part of this is Buzz upgrading to that Vandal, able to find 3 kills. They invest the Cosmic Divide, but Buzz then kind of when they really needed him, not able to stabilize his aim. When Divide steps through and
Anjing.
I love it. All right, timeout. DRX needs to figure out, what can they
Guys,
tighten
timeout
up,
itu
what
buat
loose
reset
ends
lagi,
can be
guys,
fixed,
reset.
what hard parts can be sanded down. And I'm not sure if there's any one thing they're really doing wrong. We're seeing some crazy plays here from Forsaken and Divide, by the way.
it's tough right now. You're not really seeing much bend from PRX. They're certainly not breaking. The retakes have been good. If DRX takes space, they react well to it. Like, everything that DRX is trying is being thwarted. So now you got to try something different. Maybe we see some kind of set play, fast hit. It doesn't really look like it, but we'll see exactly what they want to do.
Let's see now.
DRX is known for their
This
execution.
is apa? This is apa? This is apa?
Tried and true, tested. Throw everything, all your utility at the beginning of the round, get a kill, get the plant down, try to pay for it. Okay, well, they get something. That's nice.
Kind of a funny engagement over there. They did try to pop over into B. They ended up with a trade out, Foxy9 to something. That rivalry just continues on with the two guys always taking each other out. And they're going to back away from B. It's a pretty heavy stack, and it's actually Jing with a pretty big lurk. It's not much is going to come of it, unfortunately.
He knows they're not in mid.
Yeah.
That's like the thing here for PRX is that they can either assume it's going to be a regress towards B, or that they're going to go hit A. And you can see that they're kind of splitting 2-2. So I like the way that PRX read that after the timeout. They were expecting that fast hit out the B main door. Even though they lose something, they're still able to recover that op. Long range battle here with Devi.
Devi actually eating some bullets there.
Oh no.
Jing comes out, RB fights back, Buzz takes out
My
Devi.
God.
A is cracked wide open. We're seeing Mind Freak and Forsaken scramble to get back over here and try to recover.
Spike
Heals from
planted.
Stacks. And a 2v3 now for PRX. If they can get this one, certainly feels like the map is theirs.
The spike keeps on ticking. This is probably the toughest round for PRX yet if they can actually take it.
Really good grab low.
Mind Freak tries to come down. Double dragon takedown right there. He's firing at the same time. And so it's 8-9. This could not be closer. This has been such an exciting map 2 here on Split. I mean, I think we might actually go to overtime.
I think this is going to overtime.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just way too close. So you can see here that PRX reads that initial idea, but they lose something for it. And that's a big loss.
Kiki
But I think the
Kappa.
money should be okay. On the side of PRX, they had won quite a few in a row. DRX able to stabilize here now. Keep their economy in a decent spot. Well, there is a Bulldog for PRX. They can't quite get that operator going again, but enough for Devi's otherwise. And a few ults here. Devi has his. You have Jing with that showstopper. Foxy9 has his showstopper. Buzz has his ult. Dax still sitting on the Seeker. So a lot of tools here for both sides, but DRX, once they decide to pull the trigger, if you can Get that no command there. Here we go. Showstopper through.
I've got
No
your
targets
trail.
though.
Yeah, he's going to have to fire into somewhere, and I don't know if he's going to find anything. He's going to try to come through the alley. Everybody's running. He does chip over here at Forsaken's hit points. Stacks with the plant, as it's going to have to be a pretty serious retake from PRX. We've got Mind Freak up in heaven. Can't find a target just yet. Garage is absolutely clear, which means they know they're really only going to be able to come in from alleyway and heaven.
1 for 1. Right on the site, but Buzz's grenade is so well placed. Kills Forsaken in the alley. Now Buzz gonna tuck himself up, set up the crossfire here. There is not much that PaperX can do, and they are already wanting to leave. Something trying to see if he can maybe find prize on the way
Yeah,
out.
that's it. There's nothing he can do. It's going to be 9-9. I think a wise decision from our team that's famously aggressive. Here they did not overextend. They know this is going to be their toughest match yet, and if they're going to win it, they're going to have to do it with the guns from this lost round.
Yeah, exactly. The economy's funky here for the side of PaperX. So another timeout, and you know we're having to dig deep for both teams into the playbook. What's going to be the response now? I thought PaperX played this okay at the beginning of the round. They recognized the situation with Foxy with the showstopper and backed off of it. They still took damage, but it wasn't critical damage. They didn't lose any players. But then they didn't really have a follow-through set up. I thought maybe they'd try to use Jing Showstopper, but you know, with that no command early, they couldn't really get into a comfortable setup, I suppose, to set things through. So kind of curious to see how they want to adjust. Are they going to play a bit more for retake? Or are they going to try to get aggressive again? You know, we've seen something at the beginning of these rounds, wanting to take duels against DRX, and certainly he can find trades, but the value beyond that sometimes seems to be a little bit lacking.
Yeah. DRX seeming to be stronger and stronger the further the second half goes on for. We just don't have that many more rounds left. And remember that DRX is up 1-0. They had a very, very strong performance on Ascent. Split is turning out to be a lot more interesting. So we're finished with our break.
There.
This is a pretty big buy round here, by the way, for PaperX with the guns. I guess, excuse me, actually, I forgot they saved those guns from the previous round. So this is actually, let's see if they can make it work as they go into this next part.
Yeah, the guns are, you know, definitely not quite where they'd want them to be, but the Bulldogs have been great for them this half. So, you know what? Maybe that's just the better gun to have, I suppose, for them as Poison Cloud. Not really do much there, just looking to see. I think DRX is trying to bait a little bit here to see if they can get maybe some utility to come through. Now, certainly have a read, but with the stack PaperX is here, they're going to try to basically do to DRX what DRX did to them last time. It's almost the exact same setup.
It's like the same formation as before. Showstopper! Oh my God! Jink takes Foxy 9 out. A big moment, a big start here for PaperX. They've dropped 2, and now the attacker side, it's going to be very tough to infiltrate any part of the map here. And an almost full rotation back around to B.
I just love this. PaperX is like, yeah, we saw you do it. We can do it too.
Yeah, we know how to do that as well.
It's not hard. Look at how fanned out they are now. They're reading the situation very, very well. Recognizing that DRX had the time to rotate over to B. A little bit of damage done to Mind Freak here, though. I don't think any in return to RB, so
30 seconds left.
Stacks here, gonna try to swing through. Can't win that trade.
Yeah, takes out RB. Oh my God, that was the craziest shot I've ever seen.
Oh my God. That was nasty.
Well, they got wrecked at A, and now they're getting wrecked at B. And now it's just Mako. This means PRX is going to take the round. It's going to be 10-9, just like the round before. This time the losing team tries to save that weapon into the next round. And I don't think he's going to get found. There's not enough time on the clock for that to happen.
Yeah, but
There is a necessary.
Coming out of a timeout with a really good read on what DRX is trying to do.
Yeah.
They read this B push perfectly. They set themselves up with a very similar idea to what we saw at DRX on the other side. You know, stagger the positioning and the utility. Have that showstopper available.
That is insane.
Whew.
How would... I don't know.
I don't even know how they do that.
Yeah, I don't know how that's physically possible to do.
Time to explode.
Crazy. Well, now PaperX is sitting on a ton of ultimates. Still the Viper's Pit for Devi. Forsaken as Seekers now. Something, the blades in the back pocket. Maybe saving those for...
Party's over.
Whoa,
Holy
caught the tail end of that.
motherfucker.
Something takes Foxy out and escapes to safety.
Now he's starting to feel it.
Yeah, he's really turning it up.
There.
That's what they need. They need him to come alive. He's going to try to play this rope position with the flash there. It's going to be good to back him off. Good job by DRX. Buzz swinging out, getting Jing. Looking for another. He's got two.
He's making it happen. Can he keep it going? The spike's been grabbed over here by RB. It's being couriered up through mid. Looks like Stax is going to have it engage over here with something. Oh, hold on. They go right by each other like two ships in the night. Oh, hold on. Something's coming back. This is going to be a key moment. And Stax takes something out. Right now, PRX starting to fray at the seams a little bit here.
Yeah, it's a great read here by Buzz and Stax. Kind of sensing the aggression, the movement from PRX and able to find it. Now,
Last player
Mind Freak, I was going to say, Mind
30
Freak was trying to
seconds
lurk as well, and Stax is having none of it. Stax is just reading things so well. Now, Devi gets one, but Buzz, good for the trade. That's a great round there, especially from Buzz and Stax with the way they sense the movement from PRX. Just don't give them any opportunities to find flanks.
Taking a quick look back here.
That
Great
is
start here from something. But really it was Buzz that just started to murder everywhere. And I was, every time I'm watching this, I'm watching something like, how long is this guy going to stay alive? Because he will get kill after kill after kill. And when we saw Stack shut him down, that was, in my opinion, the signal that this round is over.
Ah,
Yeah, it feels like that. Devi's had some great moments. He is good at clutching, but all right, now something can find an operator with the blades in the back. But RB setting up the challenge.
Whips
Does,
that shot.
he does take a
He's going
tag.
to go for another. He's
Yeah.
so aggressive. He's going to keep going. All right, he decides to pull back.
But he burns so much utility out of
Yeah.
RB there.
Yeah.
So many stars had to be invested just to save his own life, and he even took a chunk of damage, it looked like, through the wall there, did RB, so Stack's able to heal him up, but that was a tough start there. You know, I think RB probably happy he got away with his life after everything is said and done, but still, it's an investment. Now you're, as DRX, kind of pot committed here. Your Poison Cloud and your Toxic Screen are already out. Foxy's just going to clean the Seekers.
Yeah, Foxy pushes in over here to make it a
Out of
little bit more
charges.
ambiguous. You take all the Seekers out at once. It's a tougher read. They're still committed up into male.
This is great now, because that means Stax's position hasn't been identified for DRX.
All right, they're going to come into B right now. Something lurking down here. Oh! Takes
Wow.
Foxy out. Not enough. Buzz gets the revenge there. And Mako's now going to come in here. It's just Mind Freak left. And now it's their side to take.
let's go DRX.
Alone on the other side of the map
10
is
seconds
Devi,
left.
just waiting.
That crosshair placement, man.
That was crazy.
God, it's just perfect. He's just so ready. I mean, it's just it's incredible how well disciplined they are. I just said that's my word of the day today. Like, so I feel like I'm that count on Sesame Street. I'm
That's
like
right.
discipline.
Two headshots.
But you use it with DRX because it makes sense. We've seen it so many times now. I mean, you and I in particular, we've been here for the last couple of years doing Valorant,
Yeah.
and we've seen this team. They don't fumble much. They hang on to the ball and rarely let go.
They have looked so strong. This is the 11th win, and it could be the 11th hour here for PRX. If they can't come back and get that 13th victory or go to overtime, it's going to be, the same business as usual here with DRX. As close as this map has been, if they win, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, DRX is looking so good. Something, by the way, is played so well with these shots. Like, it's phenomenal.
You can see the mechanical skill that he has.
Ah,
Yeah, and the
selamat
confidence.
berbuka guys buat kalian yang
To just go out in
berpuasa.
the open with that operator. That operator that could, if he's killed, that's going to go to the other team.
What's this?
Money lost.
Yeah, it's
So brutal.
It's crazy. So the ulti's been procced here for something, and he's waiting quietly over here at A. kind of ambiguous setup right now for DRX. I think they're basically waiting for something to push out from one of these positions, but you know, hearing the ulti be used like that, it's unlikely he's going to peek. So this, if you know, DRX doesn't get much from this, it's just going to be lost time until they can eventually get more intel and push onto a spike site.
Dax is kind of trying to sell that there's stuff going on. Now he has to run. Something's hot on his tail. Stax is ready for him though. A flash beyond him. Stax is gonna get two.
Oh my God!
Anjing,
Stax with a clutch play. They hunt him into the sewers, but his reaction time is too good.
What? There, we criticized him a little bit earlier. That was a good reaction.
That was incredible. And so now it's going to be a spike site over here on to B. We've got the rest of PRX coming around.
They make this work.
It's going to be tough.
Guns are not great. Just a Sheriff, a Spectre, and a Phantom. Viper's Pit, though, here for Devi. See if he wants to invest it. Whoa!
Oh, Devi takes Stax out. Got Buzz here with some peeks. Pop flash, and there it is. The tactics are so good from DRX. All it is Devi left over, and then there's none. 12 to 10. Can PRX bring this into overtime?
Let's
DRX
go.
just one round away,
DRX.
walking out of this best of 3, winning 2-0.
Yeah, you're not able to come through there with that low buy round. You're trying to catch Stax, trying to put some pressure on him. They have a great read here to PRX. The Stax is alone. The execution is just lacking. Follow up behind something just not quite in time, and Stax is able to kind of predict it and read the situation so well to get ahead of that flash.
It's now or never.
Yeah.
Now or never here for PRX. Can they bring us those 2 wins? Let's not forget, you know, PRX, when they were up against the ropes, they made the mistake of overextending. They were too aggressive. They were light on that aggression.
Ooh. Something just takes a huge amount of damage. He's gonna have to burn through to heal him up back to full. Can do that, but the armor's gone. That's a huge loss on you know, the player who's been pretty good for some of these opening kills for PRX.
DRX is taking their time. They know they're so close to that finish line. We see a little bit more creeping up into mid. Mid is not being watched. Instead, it looks like PRX is going to push down through A to try to get some intel. And mid is going to be the way that the spike's going to be brought in here. Stax takes out one. Stax is then destroyed by Mindfreak.
Not before hitting a headshot. Jing gonna shut Buzz down. They're trying to come up the rope with the shorty. They just swarm him. They're only able to get one before Devi gets another, or 2, excuse me.
Mongo takes out one. It's not impossible. He has the
30
spike.
seconds
He's going to
left.
come down onto A. He's got to get behind the pillar. Viper's Pit comes up. Can Mako clutch this out?
Who else but Mako? Pressure, but they're not entering the Viper's Pit.
There's a lot of spots he could be lurking at. They're going to try to set it up. He's going to be actually hanging outside. He's spotted. He goes into the cover of the Viper's Pit once more. 46 HP remaining.
That was a bit of a risk. He took a lot of damage for that because he got spotted. Now they're going to try to push together. Is he going to be ready for it?
Mako pokes back out.
One enemy remaining.
He gets
Oh my
one.
God!
He gets one.
Oh my
my God! Clutch! That's it. DRX goes
Ako
2
ni bro.
and 0 against PRX.
I don't know how he does that. Time and time again.
Keren, keren, keren,
Mako
keren.
is the clutch master for DRX. The best controller
Yaudah,
we have
sampai
in the
sini aja
Pacific,
watch
no
party-nya
doubt.
guys.
A
Cuman
lot
mau
would say
watch
the best
party
in the world right
PRX sama
now.
DRX.
And that moments like that show you
Thank you
why
for watching, thank you
he's
for
so
like,
ready
and nanti
for
malam
that
kita akan
situation. He's like,
streaming
well, they're not
lagi
coming in
lebih
front of me.
lanjut.
I think they might have
Jadi
stuck
gitu.
through the back. Let me spin.
Thank
Shoot,
you,
I heard the tap. I
bye.
know he's right there.